Hey, what's up guys, TotallyDubbed here, and today I'm doing a video review on the SteelSeries Arctis 3 Bluetooth. So this is a retake on the Arctis 3 and it adds Bluetooth functionality to it. I'd like to thank SteelSeries for actually sending this out for a review and to see how it compares to other headsets that I've reviewed, plus to see how the Bluetooth functionality works. Now, before getting into the review and the build quality, the sound quality and then the recording quality, let's talk about price. It can be found for £135. Now that's a lot of money because the Arctis 3 non-Bluetooth version is around £70 on Amazon.co.uk. The Arctis 5 is around £85, whereas the Arctis 7 is around £140. They all have different functions, so I suggest you guys go to the SteelSeries website, which I'll link down in the description below, to see the differences. But regardless, this is the review for the Arctis 3 Bluetooth. Now, one thing you should note with the Arctis range is that you get different colors. At the moment, on the Bluetooth versions, there's only the black version, and there's no sort of RGB lighting and whatnot. In the US, you can find it for around $150, and links will be down in the description below, including SteelSeries' website in case you're interested. So without further ado, let's get into the build quality. So now a quick overview of what you get in the box. You've got the headset itself, you've got a you've got a USB cable, which is a charging cable terminated by a micro USB. It's as your standard cable. You've got a 4-pole adapter, which is useful if you're going to be using with the Xbox or PS4 or other devices, mobile devices. Then you've got your standard line-in jack and the microphone cable for your PC. Now this also works as an extension cable, which is great because that means you can fit it around your PC, and this all then connects into another a port which is illuminated by a blue design, and that goes within the headset over here, and then you are able to use the microphone. Now the microphone works over Bluetooth, of course, but if you're going to be using it with a PC, at least a non-Bluetooth enabled desktop PC, then you're going to want to connect it up there. In terms of the build quality of the headset, I think it's absolutely beautiful. They've done a great job here with the design and the looks of it. It doesn't actually look like a headset when you have the microphone retracted, and I think this is what SteelSeries were going for. A headset that also works as a headphone. Given the fact it has Bluetooth functionalities in it, and of course the Arctis line looks like this, but this is the only one I would really say can be used as a headphone outside of the house, and then when you come in the house, then you've got these on as well. Now, what I really like is the headband. Now, SteelSeries always have like a really nice headband design. In this case, they have the ski goggle suspension, which can be removed, and you can change these. If you buy it from SteelSeries' website, you can also get a free headband, and you can choose the different sort of colors that come with it. Now, the headband itself is removable. You can also clean it if you so wish, and it's also very comfortable. And you'll see it on my head in just a bit. It allows for all different types of head sizes, and given the fact that you can quickly adjust it or even change it, it's a great design by SteelSeries, and I really love what they've done here. At the top of the headband, obviously it's plastic because it doesn't need any sort of foam because of this ski goggle design. At the top you've got a solid plastic design which can also expand quite a bit, so no matter your head size you'll be fine. In terms of the drivers themselves, as you can see, they can pivot but they do not fold in, so in terms of portability you'll have to bear that in mind, that you can take it in a bag but you can't probably put it in your pocket. It's to be expected with a headset of this size. Most headphones, even audiophile headphones, won't even fold in, even though they're portable headphones. Now, the left and right indicator is actually quite hard to see. It's very small, it's within the headphones there, but it should be pretty obvious that the left side over here is where the microphone goes, so that's how you'd put it on. Now, on the left hand side you've got the retractable microphone design. Now I quite like this just like the old Siberia line. It's very nice to see it coming back. However, I did find myself often readjusting it because its memory cable doesn't seem to want to listen to my commands, meaning that if I wanted to adjust it while I'm talking to have less popping noises, then unfortunately you might have to readjust it quite a few times when you're gaming. But nevertheless, it is there, and the retractable design is very nice and quickly puts the microphone away. So charging wise, you've got a micro USB, you've got a 3.5mm jack as well, if you so wish, so you can use it as a normal headphone without any Bluetooth or whatnot. Then you've got the two ports, which goes for the PC. Then you've got a volume adjustment wheel, which is the headphone volume. And then you've got a very handy microphone mute switch button, which looks very nice and actually works flawlessly. And I'll come across this when I do the microphone tests. Finally, on this side, you've got the Bluetooth indicator. It's just a power on button. You can see right now it is actually connected to my phone, so I can play music. You can pause music, at least on Android, by pressing the button, and if you double click it, then it will skip music. I couldn't find a way to go back, so usually you triple click it, but that didn't work. Nevertheless, it works, and it's good. Now, in terms of the comfort of the headphones themselves, or the headset, they're very comfortable. The pads over here are very soft, and in all honesty, even with my big ears, they actually fit around my ears over the ear and provide a very much comfortable and good passive isolation. So that's pretty much the build quality. I think they've done a fantastic job. In terms of design of it, it's simple, it's nice, it's a black design. I think it's great, and if you want to customize it, you can change the headbands, and that adds a little bit of a flavor to it, so you can put a little bit of customization there. I think that's simple and it's good. So now let's go into the recording and sound quality tests.
And we're back now, guys. So everything you can hear right now is being recorded by my PC from the SteelSeries headset. Now, I should mention that I'm using a USB sound card. It's like a £3, £5 USB sound card from Amazon.co.uk. The reason I'm using that is because my motherboard has a lot of static sound. Now, of course, this is one of the limitations with the Arctis 3 Bluetooth, or any pretty much most Arctis products, is the fact they're using a 3.5mm jack. Therefore, if you're getting a lot of static sounds, that's not to do with the headset, it's actually to do with your PC's way of isolating sound. Now, right now I don't have anything plugged in. By that I mean I don't have it plugged into power. However, it's still connected to Bluetooth on my phone. Now, if I were to connect up the power, it will be charging it, and as you hear right there, there's no sort of noise that is increased by it being connected to my PC. So therefore, you can still use the headset whilst being plugged in and not have any sort of interference sound. So it's great that you can charge the headset whilst actually still using it and not have any sort of problems with it. Now, the headset itself, as you can hear, in terms of recording wise, it sounds good. There's no sort of problems. My voice is being picked up pretty accurately. It's maybe a little bit low in terms of how it's actually picking up, but that's more to do with Windows rather than the headset itself. You can see from the positioning, there's sometimes a bit of popping noises, and there's no sort of like boom mic or sort of a filter on top. Of course, you can buy that separately if you so wish, but you could position it a little bit further away, you can position it a little bit closer. It's up to you. But as I said, the memory cable sometimes isn't the best of things in the world, so do bear that in mind. So recording quality wise, absolutely no problems. I think SteelSeries have done a great job. It could be a little bit more bassy, a little bit more boomy, versus my Mod Mic 4.0 that I use pretty much every day. But other than that, picks up the highs and mids pretty well, and doesn't have any sort of static noises or any sort of problems that are inherent in other cheaper headsets. Now, the mute button as well, there's a little noise which goes on. I'm just going to be continuing to speak, and you're able to hear there's a slight noise when you hit the mute button, but when you unmute it, there's no problems there. Now let's talk about the sound quality. Again, it's from the headset. What I did is I plugged it into my PC, my amplifier, and I also plugged it in. I connected it up via Bluetooth and listened to some music via Bluetooth. Now, unfortunately, in terms of Bluetooth wise, I couldn't find anything about it having aptX. So therefore, in terms of its connection, the Bluetooth it will be using is A2DP, which is fine. It's standard, but I would have expected maybe a £135 headset from SteelSeries to maybe have aptX. If you're not sure what aptX is, essentially it has CD quality over Bluetooth, and therefore you get less of a compression loss over Bluetooth, and therefore you get better sound quality over wireless. Unfortunately, that's not the case, but nevertheless, sound quality is good. I had no sort of problems. Connecting up to my OnePlus 5T, it worked up straight away, and as I said, I was able to take calls if I wanted to via that button, and also play pause music and whatnot. Sound quality wise, in terms of raw sound quality wise, I felt that the bass was slightly lacking. It was a little bit pushed towards the mids, the mid bass, whereas the sub bass was a little bit not non-existent, but it did roll off quite quickly, and therefore you don't have that sort of rumble that you'd expect in a closed back headset. The mid bass has a lot of emphasis, which is good. However, sometimes it can be a little bit overpowering and therefore leaks into the mids. And the mid range, in terms of the vocals, or let's say if you're listening to music and or you're listening to footsteps and whatnot, I didn't feel that they were as pronounced. It's to be expected with a sub £200, sub £150 headset, but it's very much like the Arctis 3 non-Bluetooth version. So you're pretty much getting sound quality of a £65 £65-70 headset rather than a £135 headset. So you're really paying a premium for the Bluetooth over the sound quality. There's no real sound quality gains, at least from what I could hear. In terms of the highs, they do roll off at the top end, so therefore you get kind of like a smooth effect, which is not great if you're wanting to listen to precise footsteps coming around left and right, or if you want to listen to music and you want to enjoy, like, I don't know, the latest Beyonce single or whatever it might be. In terms of the soundstage, in terms of like how the headset perceives sounds coming, all sort of different sounds, so like a 360 sound. Of course, it doesn't have any of this Dolby technology, which I don't personally believe in, but the sound stage itself isn't bad. For closed back headphones, I was actually quite impressed of how well it can portray sound and not feel too claustrophobic or sort of close sounding. So very impressed with that. Instrument separation is good. You hear nice left and right sounds. On top of that, you can also get great sort of tonality and also a good sort of depth and width with the sound. So that's great for games, great for music, and great for everything, in all honesty. So in a nutshell, I would say the sound quality is good. It's not amazing for a £135 headset. I would kind of expect more. However, you're not really paying for just a headset. You're paying for a Bluetooth headset, so something with multi-functionalities. Therefore, you can connect up to your phone, and you can connect up to your PC, you can connect to your Xbox, Nintendo, PS4, whatever it might be. You can connect it to multiple platforms. If Bluetooth is not for you, then I would highly suggest just getting the Arctis 3. It's a lot cheaper, and yes, it might not have all the functionalities in terms of Bluetooth functionalities, but if Bluetooth is not important to you, then you won't care about it. If Bluetooth is important to you, and you want something that you could use maybe on the go and you come back home and you plug it in, then the Arctis 3 Bluetooth is actually quite good value for money. For £135, first of all, there's not much competition out there, if any, and let alone that, I think it does a good job overall. Sound quality is decent, recording quality is good, looks, design is fantastic, multifunctionality is great, and it works flawlessly out the box. No sort of needed for drivers or software or anything like that. It just works. So there we go, guys. That's been my honest review of the Arctis 3. As I said, make sure you check out links in the description below, specs and whatnot, and including my other reviews for other products out there. Might be interest of you. Make sure you give it a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments below of the headset itself, and don't forget to favorite and share, as it always helps the channel grow. Alright, guys, I've been totally dubbed. I can't even speak. Take care, and bye bye.